week. It was a very hard-fought game. I thought our guys played with great effort. I was really proud of the comeback that we managed in the fourth quarter. It was just a very tough way to lose it. At the end of the day, we didn't make as many plays as Miami. Miami's a very improved football team, and we basically handed them 10 points. And the bad snap that led to a touchdown, and then the interception late in the game. And right now we're not scoring points in bunches enough to hand over 10 points like we did. It was just too much to overcome. But again, you watch the film, and our guys play with effort. We're just not making enough plays to win games. But as I've said, we're very fortunate to have a rivalry game. And heading up north this week, this is a great rivalry with a great tradition. And it's one of those games that you throw out the records. We've had 2 good days of practice. I'm really, again, very proud of the effort that our guys continue to give us on the practice field. That to me is a very encouraging sign for our program. And I know this game means a great deal to all the seniors in our program and all the players in our program. And it's another chance to get on national TV and play a very good football team at their place on the road. And again, this is one of those games that I think in every football season, to some degree, the result of this game defines your season. And obviously we putting a lot into it, and certainly going to make a good account for ourselves up there on Wednesday.
Looking backwards at Miami for just a moment, now this is 5 of those games where it basically comes down to the last play.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 1 or 2, that's something, I hate to say you manage it, but that kind of thing happens. Does there become a snowball effect in your eyes having it 5 times?
I mean, there can't be a snowball effect. There's 2 ways of looking at it. One way is, geez, we're not that far away. We've lost 4 games in the last play of the game. But then in those games, you also look at the numbers. And, we beat Central with 20 seconds left. But we outgained Central. We out-time and possessed Central. We did all those things necessary to win a game. Mm-hmm. So it came down to the last play, but really that was a game that we outplayed them. Did we outplay Buffalo? No, they outgained us by 250 yards. Did we outplay Troy? I mean, we did some good things like a punt return that put us in a position to win the game, but they outgained us by, I think, 146 yards. Mm-hmm. And Miami outgained us by roughly 150 yards. And, so you look at it from that perspective, and we're probably fortunate to be in the game. But the sad thing is that we just literally handed them 10 points, which was just bad football. You need to be able to snap the ball to your punter, and you need to be able to get the ball off. And there's no way with 2 minutes left in the game with the ball in a tie game that you can throw that interception. And hopefully our guys learn from it, grow from it. And there's only one direction to go, and that's forward. There's nothing we can do about those games. And the only indication that I can have as a coach of have they moved past it is how hard did they practice. And one thing that puts me in a good mood right now is when I watch our guys practice. Because we are getting effort. Like our offensive practice the other day, we were running a series of plays from the 35-40 yard line, and we ran 3 runs. And every single time the running back took the play all the way to the end zone. And that to me tells me we're still getting effort, guys are still pushing themselves, and those are the things that put you in a good mood and know that the team has moved their focus on and getting ready for the next one.
Is it of benefit that focus this week is not very hard to come by?
Yeah, I think that helps late in the year. And I'm a big advocate. I'd love this game to be the last game of the season. I just think that's where your biggest rival belongs, the last game of the season. And obviously they moved it up this year for national television and other reasons. But I just, I'm a fan of having your biggest rival be the last game of the season. And I think, certainly you look around the country and that's usually the case. But it certainly helps to have these games late in the year. You always have something to play for. And when it's a rival, it's even more defined.
One last question about Miami before me. With there's a story, I can't remember which paper it came out, that Miami's Coach Haywood said that he had an advantage with the fog being on that sideline and his other guys being in the box, being able to see both sidelines. Do you think there's any merit to that?
I mean, You know, you win a game, you can say anything and say it's a reason. I mean, you know, we certainly, you know, we had difficulty seeing on the other sideline. At the point that the fog came in, I can't tell you that I think that impacted the game. You know, and again, his perspective is his perspective. But, you know, going back, I don't think that had anything to do with us losing the game.
And then this week, how is this different than a normal road game with proximity and being on Wednesday night? How's this different?
Yeah, in some ways, in terms of your travel, it's almost like a home game in terms of, you know, you're not getting on a plane or getting on a bus and going for 5 hours. Our calendar and our schedule really isn't any different than if we were playing at home.
Are the athletes still going to be in classes on Wednesdays? Or?
Yeah, our guys will go to class on Wednesday, you know, up to a certain point, and then when we have our pregame meal and those things. But yeah, they'll be on campus. I mean, you know, we play 20 minutes away. We're not spending $10,000 and putting guys in hotels, and you know, we're going to be, you know, we're certainly, you know, going to do things in a smart way, and you know, it's not that far away. We'll go up there and practice Tuesday night just to get a feel for the stadium and the locker room. You know, there's a lot of guys in our team that have never ever been there. You know, that's how young we are. I mean, you have two guys here, Champ Fells and Tyrone Prani, who have been to the Glass Bowl, but the majority of our team has never been there.
Will you talk a little bit about the rivalry in the sense that they have a lot riding, and I know we addressed this a little bit last week with Miami, but is this in effect BG's bowl game for this year?
Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks have been. You know, these are our two opportunities to be on national television, to play our two biggest rivals, and there's always something to play for. And the last game we'll have something to play for too. You know, that'll be our seniors' last game. So, you know, I don't buy into, geez, the season's not going well, there's not as much to play for. I mean, you know, to me, you play the game because you love it. You got to have the ability to get up for every single game. You know, and I've said this, I mean, you know, the one thing about these seasons is that the true football players and the true leaders really start sticking out. And it's the nature of every team that, you know, you have your truly committed and truly compelled guys that just love football, they love their teammates, they love Bowling Green, and they'll do anything for the program. And that commitment, whether you're 8-3 or 3-8, doesn't wane. And then you have the guys that are not fully committed, and those are on undefeated teams too. They just get hidden a lot better. And I think that the clarity that you get from a season with this is who your true football players are, who your true leaders are, who the guys that just do it for all the right reasons, and there's guys that just can't handle it. And the guys that love Bowling Green and love our football program and our leaders, they are really sticking out right now and making sure we're having good practices.
Who are some of the guys in your eyes that are doing that kind of thing?
No, I think two of the guys in this room. I mean, it's very easy to be a captain when you're going to a bowl and you're winning a championship and you're getting in front of the team. I think Champ has done an amazing job. He's the one guy when practice is over, he's always breaking down the team. You constantly hear in practice chattering, challenging the freshmen. And I've told Champ a number of times that, you know, it's hard when you're a senior and you're a captain. The burden on the season falls on your shoulder, and he's done an amazing job of keeping his spirit. Even though he may be down, he's still trying to lead our football team. He's done a great job with that. I think Chris Jones has done a phenomenal job of continuing to play hard and give us great effort. You know, there's certainly enough of those guys that, again, for all the things we didn't do well against Miami, you would never say our team didn't play hard or ever gave up or didn't give effort. I mean, those things just aren't showing up on film. Whether you watch the game on ESPN or you were here live or you're a coach watching the video, you know, you never put the film on and say guys aren't giving it their best. They are. You know, do we always play smart? No. Do we make some critical mistakes that cost us the game? Yes, we did. Did we have guys not hustling, not playing hard? That didn't happen.
Coach, you mentioned when these rivals play, you might throw out the records, but do you think maybe the players, your players, have any extra motivation with the chance to maybe knock Toledo off? And
You know, I've never used doing something to someone else as my, you know, to me, we have our goals. You know, we need to worry about us and getting us ready, and I hope our motivation to win is that we want to go up and beat our rival. We want to win the football game for Bowling Green, not because of how it affects their season. Obviously, that's, you know, that's part of it, but, you know, we don't, it hasn't been any of our talk about, you know, trying to make sure they don't get to a bowl or do anything like that. That isn't our motivation. Our motivation is that this is our rival game. Part of the commitment of coming to Bowling Green and playing football here is you do everything you can to beat your rivals, and this is one of them, and that's all the motivation that we need.